Hello everyone, ladies, gentlemen, they, thems, and all those in between. Welcome back to tonight's first set from the CCA League. I'm SPF Dark, and I'm joined by a lovely friend of mine's.
Hello, I'm Kyon.
And we're excited to bring this match, the Death Rolls, striving from, I forget, the University of Florida versus the Siberian Squid, all the way from the University of Connecticut. And I'm kind of excited for this game. After hearing about a little bit of what the Death Rolls have done last week, I'm excited to see how this is going to play out.
Feature one and all in, of course, the podcast. I'm excited to see what Death Roll can do. They had an excellent week one matchup in tow, and now Siberian Squid's probably looking to see if they can derail a little bit of that momentum they had leading into this one. As we're pretty much just wasting no time, Dar. They're about to get right into it here soon,
and they're about to get into justice any second now as the countdown's going down. And first up, it's going to be Clam Blitz on one of the newer maps this season, Crablet Capital. What can you tell about this?
Well, it's one of the newer maps here. I would not be surprised with based on how the terrain has worked in Crab Lake Capital if that teams will probably look for very sneaky ways to attack this map all around. You basically have the higher ground on that right hand side if people want to just really go crazy on this particular map, but it's also above uninkable grates. So I'd love to see which side that either team wants to deal with. I am already looking at these weapons here, and I have many questions. What do you see, Dark?
What one team has is just pretty much completely, I want to say anyways, off-meta weapon picks with the L3, the heavy edit, maybe not the squeezer, but the dapples, that's definitely, you don't see it. Going up against a more mainstream meta comp, and I genuinely don't have any notes as to like how this may or may not affect the games, because they might be cracked with their weapons, or this might just kind of fall through, as they're right now already popping out that beloved Inkzuka.
So one of the best things with the Siberian Squids here is that's a 2-down scenario. Already things are looking good for the Siberian Squids. They take out 3 on death rolls, and one of the things with Siberian Squids, they have flexibility. They can play a lot of weapons, so I'm not at all surprised that they decided to dish out some of the more crazier choices of weapons right out of the gate. As they turn this to 3 down, Power Clam spawn, but immediately shut down. Nitro goes off right away, and that is going to Nitro getting out to the triple one.
That's not even a minute in, and what? Oh my! Not even a minute, and they did the splash shot. Just managed to push that push, but just like that, they managed to get that that power clamp in right under their noses. And even though that might be just 20 points on the board, that depending on how they play the rest of this game, that might be the only 20 points we might see for the rest of the game.
Well, let's see how the rest of Death Roll attacks there. Nitro with a clutch hole on defense. Yes, you give up one power clamp, but that's not a problem. As long as you get everybody out of there fast, one and done is going to be perfectly fine with Death Roll. They got a lot of time to work with, but still a great initial push from Siberian Squids. Siberian Squids had a really strong looking push, able to take out multiple out of the picture. But I'd like to see how Death Roll tries to respond. They've been caught on bad moments there on defense. Siberian Squids, no problem. They take out 2.
Time and time again, that this L3 is really putting in the work with that hammer, just being able to clear out so much space and giving the rest of their team just the space they need to actually start collecting clams and pushing up, gearing up for a good push. But as Trizuka comes out, that's 1-1 down for each team. It's still kind of the neutral right now. They're just fighting for that mid, or just hanging on that right side just to see what's going to happen next.
What I like so far in Death Roll, they are starting to just farm up clans and just wait for the big opportunity to try to push up and go as a unit. One of the things that Death Roll has they got Trizukas, they got Inkjets, they got everything they need. As you mentioned, playing weapons that are insanely popular right now. The Squeezer is out of the picture from Siberian Squids. They're trying to just push up with strong weapons out of the play. 3 down. We got a big push possibly coming.
And right now, there's 50 points counting as the Inkjet comes out, just trying to keep the space, keep the momentum going. But the L3, it has that hated hammer once again, and they get 1. Can they get another from the backlines? They get 2. 3 are down for Death Roll. Siberian Squids, and that's a wipeout for Siberian Squids. They gotta get these cannons. They gotta clear mid. They gotta push up as far as they can and keep this momentum going in their favor before Death Roll comes back and tries to stop this.
Shoutouts to Bean using the Ultra Sim and just completely found half of Death Roll's team from the back side, and that is how Death Roll's push cannot go any further. That was a perfectly placed bomb, I believe, coming out of Death Roll on top of it as well, so Siberian Squids have to retreat right there. They got 1 power clamp clan ready to go. I believe that is going to be the pity clan that just spawned out of the push, but that's a great response from Death Roll. Hey, we give up that one and done push. Let's just fire back by just getting an even better push up ahead. Siberian Squids having to now play from behind, but taking out the Zap is going to help.
And right now they have tactical so that they can play really more aggressively, as 3 are already down in just those few seconds after tactical is popped out. They're really gearing up to push, make this a heavy point lead in their favor, but 2 go down to an unfortunate bomb. Can they get that power time? They can. It's down to 50 points, but they're being smart. This last player alive is playing it safe. They're playing it smart. They have a minute left. They can play time. The point lead isn't that much in their favor. With another good push, they will be able to take the lead, but it's a matter of can they actually get that in this last minute?
Yeah, now I have to see how Death Roll starts to respond with this one. That's a great fight overall that just occurred. That Trizuka! Oh my goodness, you just saw that! That was the Trizuka that takes out 2 right near the barrier. But where is that push? They almost lost that power climb on top of it. That's all gonna be alright. They're gonna be out of those penalty points. And now the small jump. That should be really clear. Actually, right down in the mid. Not quite all the way up there. Not a problem though, Dark. Well, actually, now a problem entirely as they lose nearly their entire team. They only broke through penalty points and nothing else more. Siberian Squids held firm.
That hesitation on Death Roll, that might have been game for them. If they acted a bit faster, they could have gotten a little bit more points, but now they gotta defend. They don't have the time to make another power climb, make another push. They gotta hold their ground as there's 10 seconds on the board. It's gonna go into overtime here and once time runs out, but 2 goes down for Siberian Squids. It's not looking good for Death Roll. They just needed 1 push to take that one down, but it's trade for trade. They gotta play time. They gotta play this overtime smart.
Yeah, they got to play this overtime very smart right now. They got 2 power clans ready to go. They are able to take out members there, but they're halfway through overtime. 2 down scenario already happening until Milk Kid is just trying to push up ahead. Burst Bomb trying to build the space, but look at that defense held strong, held firm. Nitro going off, and that's 3 in the backside. Person is out of there, and that is a wipeout, I believe, to cleanly secure it. Death Roll with an even better response. Oh my goodness, Dark. Great play overall, and I am led to believe that this replay is sending ourselves back into time travel mode.
Oh, that game! I'm at a loss of words. I'm gonna be honest. I'm completely at a loss of words for that. That it was just that L3 really put in the work with the hammer. They had really good hammer moments to really secure those pushes. And I was kind of worried for Death Roll for a second. The hesitation on that last push for them, that genuinely could have been it. But they managed to hold their ground strong and stop Siberian from just getting any more points on the board.
I mean, I gotta give credit to, as you mentioned, the L3 from being that just completely shut down a huge defensive push. And all that being said and done, though, it wasn't as much as it could have been in terms of Siberian Squids trying to make that one happen there. Nitro just with a huge clutch hold at the tail end of that push, and I think the hold was just so strong they set the replay into time travel mode there entirely. So we'll get the replay system fixed. But more importantly, that was a great Death Roll, great response. You had one and done. Things were looking so wrong right out of the gate, and the recovery was just on point overall. Now I got to see how both teams adjust to Barnacle and Dime zones.
Oh, Barnacle Dime zones. Barnacle Dime, another new map for this season since I believe so. Anyway, since the last season we ran CCA, but zones on this map. I kind of really like. It's very just. It's more of a neutral map, you know. It doesn't really have any. You can flank around a bit, but it's like all in front of you. And the only real issue is if you have an E-leader or something with really long range, it can kind of get oppressive. And there's a chance that we might see that. There's a chance we might not. Who knows?
I like to see how both teams want to approach this entire zone. But as you mentioned in the last map, the Siberian Squids comp was just completely off the wall, off the wall there. But I think they almost made it work. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to try to do something completely unconventional here. From this group, they had something that nearly worked in clans, just didn't turn into a victory there. So hey, Death Roll, great opening to get this one started. On to the second map here in Barnacle and Dime zones. I mean, really, anything can go at this point. I want to see what the weapons are here. And yeah, no surprise. Well, okay, one surprise has happened from Siberian Squids. The other side, not as much.
Yeah, for sure. They seem to swap out one of the weapons for the Splash-O-Matic, which There's might be some debate as to whether you want to run Neo Splash or T-Tech over in some cases, but it's kind of hard up to player choice in my find. And already one from Siberian Squids is down in Alpha the count. Death Roll is a great start to at least get a few points in this first push.
Big thing, as you mentioned there, but do you choose the Neo Splash or the T-Tech? Neo Splash, you get painting, but on the T-Tech, you get a little bit more slaying power with that particular weapon choice. They think they just want to opt more painting or for more comfort. One of the players probably just comfortable with the Neo Splash, but that's not going to matter too much, though. They've already lost at zones. Death Roll already taking decent control of this map. I need to see if there's a response there. Astrans gets a trade. That's a nice little trade there. Nitro, however, is trying to go off right now. We do see the hammer coming out of Bean. Bean is not able to find anything else. Nitro from the backside completely gets punished, but I gotta see if the response is there from Siberian Squids.
One thing they got to be worried about on this map specifically is that it's very easy to get locked out on this choke specifically. So if you don't have the right specials or use your specials at the right time, you just can't really do much. And right now it's only at 25 seconds, 25 points remaining, 20 points remaining. Death Roll seems to be knocked out, and that's a wipeout. This could be it. If Siberian Squids doesn't get a special up in time, I think that's just game.
That is going to be game here because the respawn timers are not going to favor Siberian Squids. Death Roll 100-0. No chance for Siberian Squids to get a nice little contest there, and they're going to be up 2-0. This is looking very strong for Death Roll right now.
I barely had even time to analyze half the things that happened in that game. That went by so fast. They just managed to lock them out in that choke for so long, and they couldn't even contest that point. Wow.
I mean, let's be real. We did see Nitro on that Trizuka that was just delivering there, and I think we're about to see the exact replay I thought I saw from the side. So Nitro gets the suction bomb thrown out, then moves to the left. I think one blip of that Trizuka got somebody from that range. It was this specific shot right there. The rest of the team then follows suit with two being spread across the board, and yet the full wipe on secured, and yet the respawns were not going to favor Siberian Squids at all at this point. The game was pretty much over. My goodness, so that was almost a statement victory on that particular map alone there, Dark.
I'm gonna be honest. If I was Siberian, if that one Trizuka shot hit me from all the way through all that, I would be a little bit upset. I'll be honest. That was so unfortunate, and boy, what an unfortunate thing to happen. But that's it. That's game 2. The best thing you can do now is just pack it up, reset, move on, get ready for the next game, which is going to be Tower Control on Flounder Heights.
Divisive map. That's all I need to say. Divisive map, because the Flounder Heights map here, you have the tower that basically just goes from higher ground, then just goes down to lower ground. So getting control of that higher ground area as much as can is going to be key. A lot of opportunities to flank on top of it as well, but again, this is also a map that's very friendly to weapons such as Tri-Slosher as well. But I'd be curious to see what both teams want to do. So here's a prediction. I might see a Tri-Slosher change. Maybe one member from Death Roll will take this one up. But hey, anything can go.
And I think the chances especially with how the Siberians comp has been so far, I think the chances of seeing a bucket of any kind is probably relatively high. They just have a toolbox. I'm assuming they have a toolbox if they're running this kind of comp with like their weapon pool and such. And as for what Death Roll might be rolling, I think they just stick with the tried and true. The thing is with Flounder Heights is that I kind of find it hard to see like what exactly works and what doesn't in a given scenario, because each team plays so differently. So it's kind of hard to say what works and what's not. But we're heading into game number 3.
And I'd like to see what adjustments we're going to see from Siberian Squids. You know, Death Roll just had a statement victory there on that second map, and they're gonna okay, not part of the script. This was not part of the script. I saw blue devils from the milk kit. Okay, that's somewhat reasonable, I guess. And then Nitro's on the regular sloshing machine. This weapon doesn't see much usage nowadays with all the changes that have been made to it, but hey, it makes a return. I'm just trying to comprehend what I'm seeing from Siberian Squids here, though. This is a little not as conventional as you would expect to see everywhere else.
You say it's non-conventional, and they already got Siberian Squids are the ones that get the first pick, but Death Roll has to answer in return with another pick of their own. Not too fast, and just like that, 3 right now for Siberian Squid. Death Roll they got a few points, but Death Roll's about to push that back way into their favors as they're running down to the first checkpoint and get another one on their way in.
Yeah, I think Siberian Squids just went a little too fast there on that push, and then the Death Roll was just able to collapse onto them the rest of the way, and then you're going to get to see that momentum change in a flash. The blue Japples on Milk Kids and goes down. Ambrosia not able to find anybody else, and now this tower continues to push right along. So far, there is going to be a nice stuff. McPherson! Hello there, McPherson! You're making your presence known. 3 down on top of that for Death Roll, and Siberian Squids, they hold.
One thing I love to say about this map is that it's flank city. You gotta there's so many angles that the opponents can come from that you kind of have to like just pretty much watch every single part. And if you don't, stuff like that can happen. The Gal just managed to climb up their wall and just stop that push right in its tracks, causing Siberian Squids to start marching along to this first checkpoint, maybe even get to second checkpoint with how this momentum's going into the favor right now. But with the Booyah Bomb, that might spell the end of it.
Yeah, that Booyah Bomb was huge. They needed that Booyah Bomb just in time. They're able to get the wipeout. Hey, that Booyah Bomb came at a perfect time. Great placement overall from Nitro to make sure that nobody from Siberian Squids able to ride that tower down as much as they could. And now Death Roll trying to see if they can convert that into an even better push. Siberian Squids, though, they've been throwing a few punches here and there. They've been taking advantage of Flounder Heights and their flanking opportunities there. Nitro's just trying to surprise people from the back. I think both teams are trying to almost nearly outflank each other the entire way through. Nitro throws out the Booyah Bomb, but it's 3 down.
Oh, it is starting to get very dangerous territory for the Siberian Squids right now. As the heavy hit's down, they have 3 on tower. Death Roll seem to make this look like another knockout in their favor. As Siberian Squids, they need to get special ready. They need to get their numbers in order. It's a jump for the tower. Can they stop it before it starts marching down? There's only 4 points remaining, and just like that, they knock it out. Death Roll manages to take another win.
Death Roll is just making this the run that they really want to take as they again another convincing victory for Death Roll. Things of course had to swing back and forth the other direction, but I gotta give credit though again. We highlight Nitro throughout a good chunk of this set overall, and I think it started to really show just the ability that Nitro can do when it starts to matter. There, the switch over to the Lasage Machine, great Booyah Bomb placement overall. Forcing displacement across the board, and now I need to see how the rest of Siberian Squids try to respond, and we're going to get the replay of this final push here. Got all the trading at this point, and then, yeah, Death Roll, that one Death Roll Nitro, not a problem. The rest of Death Roll around this tower the entire way through, Dark, and yeah, Siberian Squids was just having to play a little bit more passively, trying to play defense as much as they could, but the cooler is right there. Milkit tries to go on the blue Dapple's flank, but then was shut down immediately. The heavy-headed was just had to move up there just to contest it all. McPherson was the last one up. And yeah, that was how Death Roll took that one home. I mean, Dark, Death Roll's just playing on another level right now.
They're making true to their name, the Death Roll. They're just really having their team in a lock and just managing to knock it out. At least for these last 2 games so far. The first one's a bit more undecisive, but even still, they managed to clutch it up right at the end. And it's the Siberian Squids, you got to be asking, what do we have to change up here? Because clearly there's something in there that's not working, something that's not going right, and this is their chance to try. And if they still wish to win the set, this is their final chance to actually try and make something happen, pull something out of their hat to be like, hey, we play on the conventional cops. Maybe you don't know about this. Let's try this out. Or if maybe they want to go mainstream with this, you know.
Yeah, and now Siberian Squids have to do the unthinkable, a point off the reverse sweep against a team that is just showing up and having something to prove right now, and they have to do it on Undertow Rainmaker, which this map sees a lot of play, and for good reason. It's a fantastic Rainmaker map with checkpoints on both sides, but a lot of teams will opt to go left. It is probably one of the more safer checkpoints to take. So I need to see what changes Siberian Squids need to do. They got to find something that can shut down just this insane aggression that Death Roll has, and of course, everything being enabled by Nitro going off. Find ways to shut down Nitro, Estrella, and the rest of the supporting comp, but I think those are 2 they probably have a lot of eyes on.
I think the big thing they have the contention over is that cooler. The cooler really makes Death Roll's comp work so well. It gives them the aggression they need to push up and make the aggressive plays without any of the risk. But right now we're about to see what exactly they're going to reply with as we head into game number 3. Any comp changes? There's a few comp changes from Siberian Squids.
Yeah, Siberian Squids just dishing out major changes, but on the other side, the same thing. Nitro now switches over to the regular Slosher, which has seen a lot of popularity in recent times as well. But hey, Siberian Squids, they decided that they're gonna go try Slosher Nouveau and Vanilla Heavy Splatling. I actually like this change overall. But now when that change goes to an immediate 2 down, Death Roll is likely gonna take advantage of this 2 down scenario they got going here. They pick up this Rainmaker right away, but Death Roll may have pushed a little too far. They may have bit off a little bit more than they could chew. Leads to immediate wipeout here, Dark.
Oh, that was such a good facing at the opening, but they were just a bit too reckless, and they didn't even get the checkpoint, which is getting that first checkpoint kind of makes or breaks a lot of these games from what I could see. But just like that, only getting a few extra points more than Death Roll, sitting at 79 Siberian Squids, man, push right there, gets shut down.
Yeah, that push is shut down near immediately, and I'm a little intrigued by the maneuver there. Siberian Squid's trying to go for the right-hand side for the checkpoint. I think trying to see if that checkpoint was a lot more than they can handle. And really, both teams lost 3 on this contest for the Rainmaker. I think this Rainmaker is going to be stopped where it stands. Siberian Squids will just take the early lead here. Big Person has something to prove and try taking out Nitro right away. They actually are going to go ahead and pick up this Rainmaker. Are they going to continue to make this push on the right-hand side? Things are slowing down a little bit. I think they're going to take some time to figure out what to do next.
Right now, these teams need to realize they have a whole 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on this clock. They have time to actually figure it out. Even though the leads right now is at 79 points, barely Siberian Squids, and what a shot from the Rainmaker! That pretty much secures that first checkpoint for them, unless this Schlosser has anything to say about it. But they do! They managed to stop it before they get on the pedestal!
Literally a second away from slamming it home for the first checkpoint could be the difference. And again, Siberian Squids just try to push it to the right-hand side each time with their advantages. They are trying to cook up something with that push alone. That's what we saw earlier, trying to go for the left. That might be the biggest difference. And McPherson sneaks the Rainmaker through at least to slam it home. That is still huge. They get a first checkpoint in, so now at least they get some semblance of tiebreak if the first checkpoint is broken the other way. That's still huge nevertheless, but now Siberian Squids, don't get too excited right now. That's only one part of the battle. You gotta finish the remainder. Death Roll has something to say otherwise. They get 3 down right away, and Death Roll now wants that right checkpoint themselves.
Oh, and they stop it before they get to the pedestal as well, and along with a wipeout! This is Siberian Squids to really make sure they can push up. They gotta run forward, they gotta paint up, and they gotta get that Rainmaker as far forward as they can right now, or else that Death Roll is gonna be able to respond back with an even bigger hit and even take lead if they aren't careful right now.
Most veterans of Undertow Rainmaker gameplay are gonna start wondering what on earth are both these teams trying to cook up going onto the right hand side. I get it. It seems very short. It seems a little shorter in terms of pathing, but that is a very deceptive path to the right-hand checkpoint, and I don't think Death Roll is gonna listen to me at all. They go on the right-hand side, they get the checkpoint, and it's also a 2 down scenario. Siberian Squids go down right away, and again, all this brawl means that Death Roll is able to just move a little further up to get the lead back, and now they go 2 down right away. Bean gets the stop on this one, but now Siberian Squids, they have to get the lead back in some form or fashion.
Yes, right now, my suggestion would be taken on the left side, but one just managed to go down from the Siberian Squids, and with Ink Strikes, this does not look good for the Siberian Squids. Death Roll is already at mid, already stopping the Rainmaker from getting anywhere past the midpoint, the mid choke point right there, and it's just a battle for neutral. They want to move forward, but Death Roll has their mid on lock right now. No one can get past.
Yeah, and I need to see if Siberian Squids has the response they need. I'd imagine the special coordination needs to be key. You got Blue Devils, which if I'm not mistaken is going to have the Reef Slider in effect, but I'm going to have to talk about that later. This is a delayed triple. This is now a delayed wipeout, I believe, on the side of Death Roll, because Death Roll could extend this lead quickly. In a flash, the Heavy Splatling goes down on top of it. This is going to be an even bigger lead they just built for themselves. Yes, Death Roll, they lose 3 right away, but talk about aggressive pathing. Again, going to the right-hand side. I don't blame them at all. In that scenario, they take advantage of the delayed 3 down scenario that Siberian Squids was put on, and they extend that lead even further. Now Siberian Squids, they have their work cut out for them. 30 seconds to do so, Dark.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This isn't looking good for Siberian Squids. That first checkpoint's out. If it goes into overtime, they don't have more time to play with. But it doesn't even matter because 3 of them go down. Death Roll has this pretty much game unlocked with specials being used to push them back even further. They have all of mid so painted in their paint, in their ink. It's going down. The time is going down. They have. Oh, this is so chaotic. This is so chaotic right now. I'm having a hard time just keeping up with what's going on. They have to pop right now.
They got the pop. They got the pop. But here's the thing. They got to keep the Rainmaker alive. They lose 2 right away. They have to retreat. But look at the inkjet shot. You just saw that. That one, I believe, was Ambrosia on the inkjet shot that shuts the Rainmaker down. And hey, talk about a statement victory. That was Death Roll in a nutshell. They marched their way onto a 4-0 sweep over the Siberian Squids.
What a... That Rainmaker match was unlike any that I've seen so far. For a lot of good amount of it seems like Siberians had the advantage to go on, but Deathrow just managed to lock it down and just keep their feet planted and stop them from going any further. I don't think they even got past that first initial checkpoint. Like, they kept getting stopped before they could get anywhere near mid at the very least.
So quick check of this replay here. Rudra picks up the Rainmaker, which gives Siberian Squids enough time to do so. They have to pick up this Rainmaker, but they give overtime back in their favor. Now they just have to play against the clock. And here's what I didn't know what happened here. Oh, it was the inkjet. I think that was the inkjet that shut the heavy splat lane down. The 52 went down on top of it, and as you saw, the inkjet just went ham at the right time. 2 crucial finds, forcing Bean to go backwards, and then that last inkjet shuts it down. And as you mentioned, Siberian Squids was just trying to keep pressing their favors to the right hand side of Undertow Spill, which again, a path you don't see a lot of teams take not just in collegiate but anywhere else, and it just didn't work out that time. But of course, Death Roll did the exact same thing, but they were able to take advantage on multiple down scenarios on Siberian Squids. That is how they were able to keep extending that lead even further. Again, pathing context is key. When Siberian Squids kept losing members left and right, Death Roll's like, all right, we're able to take them down quick. We can just push the right hand side and not have to worry about too much.
And I gotta say, this is definitely a more stable showing Death Roll has than their last week's, where each game they've done has been brought down to the very wire. But today it seems like something clicked and they just managed to switch on something in their brains, and they locked those games down.
Yeah, I mean that was a statement victory. I'm gonna be real. They've been talked a lot in this week's podcast after going to all 7 last week in their week one matchup over the Golden Barracudas. They're like, nah, we're gonna go to round 1-3 and win the next 3. We're not gonna waste any time. Let's just go and make it a 4-0. If I'm not mistaken, this is just consecutive. That was just a lot of consecutive maps won there, so they continue that streak all the way down, and I think we're about to see all the members just suddenly leaving, which means the CCA tradition will not be held dark. I think they decided to phone it in.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate, but it is kind of understandable. If I'm gonna be honest, if I was on Siberian Squid, I'd be a little bit upset, just sort of like disappointed in my performance. As for like what happened, there were so many winnable moments for the Siberian Squids, and they could have actually gotten more points. There was more they could have done, but the Death Roll just managed just to state their statement, to stake their ground, and just keep Siberian Squids from pushing any further. And that was a good set. Good.
I mean, this was honestly a tale of 2 teams there, Dart. That said, really tells the entire story from both sides. How Death Roll just continued that march from winning 3 straight last week to win it all, and then the wake up call that Siberian Squids had to deal with. They're like, nah, I thought we could take them out, and then Death Roll's like, no, we're gonna take down we're gonna take you down instead. So I mean, that was a fun set to watch. I think it really illustrates both teams in terms of their strengths and in terms of strengths and power.
For sure, and I think even though most people would typically play all 7, I think this might be where we have it. And until the next set, we have 30 minutes to fill. So it is up to us whether we fill the air or if we...
Well, what do you want to do? Because yeah, we do have another set coming up in about 30 minutes or 30 minutes down, whatever the minute marker is for you. As the producer has learned that they are indeed a true musical performer overall. I'd like to know what instruments you play over there, production. What you're gonna learn down the what you're gonna perform in front of a live audience sometime, according to Splatoon. But yeah, do you have another set in 30 minutes down the road? I'm not. What do you want to do, Dark?
I'd say that was an exciting set. I think let's give the people some time just to reset, sort of take a little bit of a break, go stretch their legs, go get a little bit of midnight snack at this hour for some, and sort of just get ready and get settled for the next one. And I think I'd say we just call it here. You know, that was a good set, an exciting set. Let's all overstay our welcome.
Yeah, I'll be cool with that. But first, Dark, where can the people find you?
Oh, they can find me at both on Twitter and Twitch at SPF_dark, where I stream just a multiple variety of games on most days of the week. And where can they find you, Keon?
Twitter, the skies that are blue above, and of course my Twitch on Keon2570. Post nonsense on the bulletin board sites, and on Twitch I play Splatoon, but I also do a lot of variety. I do a lot of things, honestly. So smash the follow button if you want to do just that.
But with that being said, I think that wraps it up for us. So don't go anywhere just yet. Even though our run is done, there's still more Splatoon fun to be had for the night. Just stick around, and in 30 minutes we'll get our next set of the night. Stay tuned.